get a little closer, it's going to be better if everybody is as close as we can move here to and it doesn't really matter. Upward. Religion and action, contemplation and commitment, all rolled up together, embedded in each heart, reestablishing old friendships, finding new best friends, cementing bonds beyond the miles, joy embedded in each heart. Today we celebrate the gifts provided to us through the ministries of Brothers Joe and Jim. They have given so much to heal a broken world. They have given to each of us a heritage to carry on. We celebrate their ministries and our commitment, mingling those streams into a new river of life. Water that colors our sacred planet blue when seen from outer space. Water, the one precious commodity that we cannot live without. Water, the simple substance that makes every desert flower bloom. Water, the chemistry that constitutes more than 90% of our own bodies. We have in this bowl, we will be emptying into this bowl water from various sources. This is water from the Potomac River, the stream that flows through our nation's capital. It is fresh water, made potable. This is water from the Atlantic Ocean. This water may have come from the Gulf Stream, salty. Into this bowl, we will now each contribute the waters that have come from all places in the earth. Water that represents the past and the present, old friends, new friends, relationships and challenges, doubts and sadness, laughter and sorrow, love, hope, gratitude. Each of us will now come one by one and empty our own vial of water into this bowl, mingling every drop, which together will represent the hopes of all people on the earth. As you make your contribution to the bowl, say these words and speak them clearly. This gift of water comes from Clear Lake in Columbia, Maryland. It's contributed by Lon Chestnut. This gift comes from name the source and the place, and put your vial in one by one.
This gift of water comes from the Heritage Harbor Pond in Lewis, Florida.
This gift of water comes from the Uptown neighborhood in Chicago.
This gift of water comes from the Mississippi River in Davenport, Iowa.
This gift of water comes from both a well in Arlington, Vermont, and a fountain in South Carolina.
This gift of water comes from a tap in the Midwest.
This gift of water comes from the Mississippi River in New Orleans.
This gift of water comes from a well originally dug in 1794 in West Newfield, Maine.
This gift of water comes from an unknown source, an unknown part of the earth.
This gift of water comes from the melted snow in Newfield, Maine.
This gift of water comes from the new fallen snow outside our doors.
This gift of water comes from I don't know where, but it symbolizes water from my northwest, North Chicago, North Texas watershed, which is in my room.
This gift of water comes from rainfall in Waltham Abbey, Essex, in the United Kingdom.
This gift of water comes from the Gilkey Creek in Mississippi.
These gifts of water come from a special little pond in our backyard in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Which is now called the Ecumenical Pond.
This gift of water comes from Lake Michigan.
This gift of water comes from Issaquah Creek in Issaquah, Washington.
This gift of water comes from Lake Ontario, Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
This gift of water comes from Lake Louisville in the great state of Texas.
Here, here.
This gift of water comes from rainfall in Tampa Bay.
This gift of water comes from the South Platte River in Denver.
This gift of water comes from a stream in Martin Nature Park in Oklahoma.
This gift of water comes from the land of enchantment, New Mexico.
This gift of water comes from the Charles River, Cambridge, Boston, Massachusetts.
This gift of water comes symbolically from Lake Holbrook in East Texas.
This gift of water was blessed in the Vatican in Rome.
This gift of water comes from the Marco River in southern Florida.
This gift of water comes from Lake Crescent, Putnam County, Florida.
This gift of water comes from St. Andrew's Abbey in the high desert of California.
This gift of water comes from my tap in my house in Georgetown, Texas.
Here, here.
This gift of water comes from Lake Gratitude in Halliburton, Canada.
This gift of water comes from our pond in Austin, Texas, where the Faith and Life community began and is related to all waters.
This is from Wells Branch Creek in Austin, Texas. This gift of water.
This gift of water comes from a spring in Bristol, New Hampshire.
This gift of water comes from the Susquehanna River, which begins in the uplands of central New York State, flows through Pennsylvania and Maryland into Chesapeake Bay.
This gift of water comes from the Anacostia River in southeast DC.
This gift of water represents the Pacific Ocean.
This gift of water represents the East Garfield Park Lagoon in Big City.
This gift of water is standing in for the town ditch from Clayton, Illinois. It flows right next to my house.
This gift of water is from the hotel here. It represents 2 vials of water and frozen in the back of our car out there. Which is significant because the Susquehanna River that Dan just mentioned flows by our house and is the second oldest river system in the entire earth and its history.
You've noticed in the bowl stones. Stones are a companion to water. The stone for us is a symbol of permanence, not stagnation, but the continuity of the tradition that we celebrate. The challenge to continue on the path opened up to us by the brothers Joe and Jim. These stones now lie at the bottom of this bowl under the waters that we have contributed. We want you now to think for a moment as you stand there. I hope Larry taught you all last night to contemplate, meditate on your feet. But meditate not just on the one thing that you will take away from this conference, this symposium, which you have been sharing in that last session, but something that you learned yesterday, today, something on which you will act. What will you do with that thing that you are carrying away from this symposium? How will it help you build your own ministry, whatever form that you take? When you have identified that one takeaway idea, then step forward once again, one by one, come forward and pick up a stone with the intention of carrying it with you in your pocket or in your purse every day as a reminder of that commitment. So be careful. If you're unsure about what you're going to do with that idea, pick up a small one. If you're going to take off a big bite, pick up one of the larger ones. But be able to carry it in your pocket or your purse as a reminder of our move from the me to the we. So come whenever you're ready and select this one. Pull up the sleeve if you need to. Hold the stone in your hand. Feel the permanent texture of the stone. Hold the stone in your hand until your hand is dry. Let the water soak into your skin by osmosis. Let the water become part of your body. That lady will be carrying the water with you as well from sources all over the earth.
Hello.
Now this is important because when we gather here the next time, or there the next time, maybe next year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years, you will be asked to bring your stone. It will carry the story of your ministry. Your ministry will be embedded in this stone, never to be lost, never to be forgotten in the memory of God. And when we gather again, you will be asked to contribute your stone to a centerpiece with all the others. And it will symbolize how having moved from the need to the we. Go now in peace, but not the peace of complacency or indifference, but the peace of internal resolve and strength. So that you, can do your part to bring God's gift of shalom on earth.
Amen. Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as the eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Help us, Lord, in thy way. Those who reign present life shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as the eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Help us, Lord, in thy way.
Well, there's nothing left to do now but party.
That's what those, took me a while. But I find it, I actually made it so that the string on the rail, the film will see to, so you can go out with the camera. And it does do the camera, but give me a box with the film in it, and go back.